Today, I will be reviewing the Nanlite FC-720C. This is the largest light that I have reviewed on this channel to date, and it's also RGB. Let me be very clear that Nanlite did send this light over as a collaboration, but they do not have a say. This is not a paid video. They will not be reviewing it, and all thoughts are mine. Only reason I agreed to review this light in the first place is to see if it actually fits inside of a lighting system. So I'm not going to be doing any spec sheet reading or anything around that nature. I like to actually put this light into a physical shoot and see, does it actually hold up? I have two different lighting setups that I want to use it for today. The first will be a 2-light setup where I'm using the light to light the background and give me some sort of a gradient. And the second setup is going to be a 4-light setup where I will also be using it in the background in conjunction with other RGB lights to see if it actually holds up and it's something that I will use from this day forward. I am so excited to get into this content. Let's hop right in. So the first lighting setup that I'm going to be putting this light through is, like I said, going to be a 2-light setup. Mind you, even though this is the FC-720C, it is still a 750 watt light. So lighting up a background should not be too tall of a task for a light such as this. I'm going to have my light on the floor with a strip box, and the strip box is actually going to be facing horizontally. I'm going to pull it off the background a fair amount because what I'm trying to do is have a tealish color wipe through the bottom part of my background, and then I want it to go up and fade into like a black or like a super dark gray. I don't necessarily want to see the white of the white backdrop that I'm using, so that is why I will also be turning off the lights in the studio. The second thing that I'm going to be doing for my key light is using a spotlight. And the reason why I'm using a spotlight attachment on my key light is to throw the light away from my background. If you use something like a reflector, it's going to open up so wide that you're going to have to feather your light a little bit too much. So I prefer to use something like a spotlight where I can still get light on my subject, but it's going to throw the rest of that light completely off of my set. This is going to be the simplest setup that we do. And of course, because the light is right behind my subject, these are going to be mainly medium and close-up shots. So I'm excited to get into this one. This is super cool and something I do a lot with gels. So let's see how this light stacks up with this 2-light setup. All right, so for these, really gonna be a lot of like medium and close-up shots. So we're trying to kind of stay tight into the body. Yep, just really pulling on the top. Yep, things of that nature. And for all of you all wondering, my camera settings are currently f4, my ISO is at 100, and my shutter speed is at 1/125th. So let's go ahead and get started. So let's actually kind of like when you were here. Yep, let's start right there. And we'll do some where you're looking at me as well as not, but let's start with your eyes to me. There you go, 3, 2, good. 2. Yep, really start to sink into it. Nice. 2. Good. Closer. Yes, yep, perfect. Right into that light. Good. Come to me. Nice. Yes. 3. 2. Good. Let's go to kind of where you're, yep, pulling on that shirt a little bit. Love that. 2. Yes. 3. 2. Perfect. I'm gonna come in close. So get like right here, but bring the hands down a little lower. Yep, that way I don't see them. Yep, right into me, yep. Good. 2, perfect. I know it's a little tough to keep looking at that light. I'm gonna go back to mediums. Come like, give me one hand on the shirt. Yep, and then the other one can kind of, oh, actually, yeah, I like that right there. I like that, that's dope. Let's bring the one that's on the, yep, a little bit higher. Cool. Good. 2. And you don't only have to look off that way, you can go the other way too. Yeah, I actually really like that. So now we are on to our second lighting setup, and this one, as I said before, is going to be a 4-light setup. I've now switched my backdrop from white to red. Reason why I'm going with the red is because I want every little pocket of light, even if it's not hitting my background, to still fall into like a darkish type of red. Even if it goes into like a grayish red, I'm cool with that. So the way that I'm gonna do it is like this. My Nanlite FC-720C is going to be my main background light. That one I have set at a higher higher level, so I have it raised up pretty high, and it's going across the top part of my background. I have the hue at 360, so it is a deep red. Red on red for this set is the theme. And then I have another RGB light on a low boy stand. So it's on a really short C stand, and then that one is shooting toward the bottom part of my background. The next thing that I did was I put up two V-flats on the negative fill side, so on the black side. So I want to make sure that we get a nice bit of contrast, and I'm trying to limit a little bit of the spill that's going to come over from those two red lights. The next two lights that I set up are my key and my fill, and I have them coming from the same side. I've been doing that a lot and I've been loving it. My key light is going to actually be a reflector, so I don't necessarily mind this time if the reflector gets on my backdrop because I switched it to red, so it's not going to really have that big of an effect on my overall image. The second light that I set up in front is going to be my fill. That one is a little bit lower than my key, and I also have it set to red. So because she has on black tights with red heels, I kind of wanted to play around with what if I threw some red actually onto my subject and really just leaned into that full high contrast with the red. So that one is angled down a little bit at the midsection toward the feet of my model, and it is shooting red on her as well. This is how I like to test out these types of lights to really see, is this something that I'm going to be using? So let's get right into set number 2. All right, so for this set, we're gonna get a lot more, I would say dramatic, right? This one I want to be a lot more sharp, really accentuating the legs a lot more since we're gonna be getting full bodies. I'm actually gonna start with full body. So I really wanna try to get something like a crossing of the legs, right? That really just accentuates everything we have going on. And you're gonna start with me. So let's take a tiny step over, yep, and then cross that leg again. Yep, and then you're gonna start with me. We're gonna start with full body. For all of you wonderful people at home, I have upped my ISO to 200. So now I'm at f4, shutter speed 1/125th, and my ISO is at 200. There we go, yes, perfect. Yes, nice. And now I want you to bring your eyes to me, and the vibe is like, what are you looking at? You know what I mean? Like, why are you, yeah, you know what I'm saying? You shouldn't even be here right now. This is my time. There we go, yep. Perfect. Yes, nice. Come here a little closer. Good. Let's go like, kind of like, yeah, actually, yeah, I like that. It's very nice. Good, yep. Perfect. Love it, yep. Nice, yep, I'm coming here. Dope. Good. Yep. Yes. Let's move the hands around a little bit. Kind of like mess with the tights. Yes. Go a little wander out. Yep. Perfect. Come to me. Yeah. Yep. Nice. Good. Mess with the top, so kind of like come here to the middle, yep. Go like the bottom part of the middle, yes, yep, just like that. Cool, yes. Bring your eyes to me. Let's do that instead, yep. Nice. Yep. Now give me some attitude going this way, kind of like toward the mirror. Yes, just like that, perfect. Some good shadows. Good, love that. Yep, I mean like a slight mouth part as well. Yeah, yep, good. So who do I feel like a light like this is made for? I feel like this is perfect for your professional studio photographers as well as hybrid shooters. If you need that high output and color accuracy, then this is the light to go. It's made to be AC powered. You plug it right in and you're going to get more than enough power to shoot both photo and video. We often harp about the fact that constant lights just don't give us enough bang to be able to shoot those commercial and fashion level portraits. Well, now with 750 watts, you can 100% do that. Who do I feel like it's not that ideal for? If you're someone who's budget conscious or you're always on location and you don't necessarily have power, I'm sure you could rig this to be, used with a V-mount or something of that nature, but it is made to be an AC powered unit. or if you're someone who's traveling often and you want to have a very small setup. This is a beefy light, and you know, as it should be, with 750 watts, it's going to be a bigger light, so it's not that travel friendly. Those are the people that I don't necessarily think a light like this is made for. But all in all, the Nanlite FC-720C is an amazing option, and you can best believe it is going to stay in my kit. I have been asking for bigger RGB constant lights, and this fits right into the lane that I am weaseling my way into. That's gonna do it for today's video. I wanna give a special shout out and a big thank you to Nanlite for sending this light over and breaking the record of the largest light in general, honestly, that we've tried on this channel. Not even just RGB, light in general, whether it be a bicolor or an RGB or a strobe. So I'm super excited to start getting into these higher level RGB lights and really starting to show you all the differences between all of them. But don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you all in the next video.